I remember the carpet under my feet that day. It was rough, worn from years of footsteps, and I was barefoot, my small toes curling into it as if it could anchor me. I was 5, maybe 6. Ages blur when survival takes over. The den felt too close, the air thick with something I couldn't name but knew was wrong. My father was there, his shadow looming, and my mother nearby, pretending not to see. That's when I screamed it. "I am not having sex with you." The words burst out, raw and desperate, like a dam breaking after too much pressure. I ran, tears blurring everything, into the living room, where my half-brothers sat with one of their girlfriends. They were so much older, teenagers, adults in my eyes, lounging like nothing mattered. I expected arms around me, questions, safety. Instead, laughter, sharp, mocking echoes that stabbed deeper than any hand ever could. My mother followed, her face twisted not in concern, but anger. She yanked me close, hissing about how terrible those words were, how I didn't understand the gravity. The family could be ruined, she said, ruined by me. I stood there small and shaking, learning in that moment that my pain was secondary to their comfort. That wasn't the beginning, of course. Abuse doesn't start with a scream. It creeps in, disguised as love or discipline or just the way things are. My father, he took things from me that no child should lose. Touches that made my skin crawl. Nights where I'd hide under covers pretending to sleep. Sexual assault, they call it now. But back then, it was just confusion and shame. My mother? She wielded words like weapons and hands like hammers. Slaps for spilling milk, belts for talking back, screams that echoed in my head long after the bruises faded. "You're so dramatic," she'd say. "Stop making things up." Verbal barbs that chipped away at my soul, making me doubt my own memories. They both did it in their ways. A tag team of terror in a house that looked normal from the street. Neighbors smiled, holidays had turkey and lights, but inside, it was a prison of silence. I think about those early years now, and it's like watching a movie of someone else's life. The fear was constant, a low hum in my chest. I'd wake up with my heart racing, wondering what today would bring. Would it be a good day, where they ignored me, or bad, where attention meant pain? Betrayal hurts most when it's from the ones who should protect you. My brothers, half-brothers, from my mother's previous life, they knew. Or at least they suspected. That day I screamed. Their laughter proved it. They chose to mock instead of help. The girlfriend? She giggled along, uncomfortable but complicit. I learned young to swallow my cries, to make myself small. And my mother, she saw the signs. The way I'd flinch from my father's touch, the bruises she couldn't explain away. But she chose denial, chose him, chose the facade of family over her daughter's safety. I learned young to swallow my cries, to make myself small. As I grew, the abuse became routine, normalized, like brushing your teeth or doing homework. I'd tell myself, all parents yell. All kids get hit sometimes. It was my mantra, a shield against the truth. School was an escape, but even there the shadows followed. Teachers noticed my quietness, the way I'd zone out. Once, a counselor pulled me aside after I drew a picture of a house with bars on the windows. "Is everything okay at home?" she asked, her voice soft. I froze. Part of me wanted to spill everything, but the shame was too heavy. What if they don't believe me? What if it breaks the family? My mother's words echoed. I smiled and said, "Yeah, fine." She nodded and let it go. Help almost happened, but it slipped away. At home, manipulation was an art form. My mother would alternate between rage and remorse. After a beating, she'd hug me, crying, "I love you so much. You just make me so angry." Gaslighting at its finest, making me believe I deserved it. My father was quieter in his cruelty. He'd act like nothing happened, buying ice cream as if that erased the nights before. "Our little secret," he'd whisper, and I'd nod, stomach twisting. I internalized it all, thought I was the problem. Ungrateful, difficult. The shame wrapped around me like a blanket, suffocating any spark of rebellion. Teen years were a blur of survival mode. I'd lock myself in my room, dreaming of escape. Books became my friends. Worlds where kids were saved. But reality? I stayed silent. Friends asked about bruises. I'd lie about falling. Clumsy me, I'd laugh, dying inside. One time, a relative visited and saw my mother slap me across the face for dropping a plate. The room went still. I held my breath, thinking, this is it. Someone will say something. But the relative just cleared their throat and changed the subject. Kids these days, they muttered. And that was that. Another near miss, another layer of abandonment. I started believing the lies, that this was normal, that I was lucky to have a roof, food, parents who cared in their twisted way. Leaving home was my first taste of freedom. College, a job, distance. I cut my father out early, over 15 years ago now. No contact, no regrets. He faded like a bad dream. But my mother, that cord was harder to sever. Despite the beatings, the manipulation, I clung to hope. If I had one bad parent, I can't have two, I'd think. Life couldn't be that unfair. We kept in touch. Calls, visits, holidays. I'd ignore the jabs, the comments on my weight, my choices. You're wasting your potential, she'd say, as if she hadn't spent years breaking me down. In my 20s, cracks formed. Therapy started peeling back layers, a safe space where someone listened without judgment. That's abuse, my therapist said plainly. The word hit like a freight train. I began coping, journaling memories, crying for the child I was. It was hard. Nights where flashbacks kept me awake, questioning everything. Finally, in my 30s, I found stability. A beautiful apartment, light-filled and mine. A partner who loves me gently, sees my scars without flinching. 3 pets, furry bundles of joy that greet me with unconditional wags and purrs. His job is solid. Mine? I just launched my own business. 2 clients already. Enough to cover bills and dream bigger. Safety let the past surface. No more burying it to survive. I wanted healing. With her, if possible. I tried. Conversations where I'd share memories carefully. Remember the beatings? The way you'd hit me? She'd minimize. It wasn't that bad. You were a handful. Worse, the assaults by my father. You knew, didn't you? I'd ask, voice trembling. Denial, always denial. I didn't know anything. But her eyes said otherwise. One day she offered her solution. Can't you just have your truth, and I'll have mine? We can have a relationship outside of that. Her truth, as if facts were optional, as if my pain was debatable. I thought about it for weeks. Paced my apartment, talked to my partner, my therapist. Could I compartmentalize? Pretend the past didn't taint everything? No. Healing requires ownership, accountability. Without it, it's just more abuse dressed as love. I knew what I had to do. My hands shook as I dialed her number. This call would change everything. She answered cheerfully, like always. Hi, sweetie. What's new? I took a breath. Mom, we need to talk. About us. About the past. Her tone shifted. Not this again. Yes, this again. I've tried to heal with you, but you won't take responsibility. For the hitting. For knowing about Dad and doing nothing. Silence, then defensive. I didn't hate you that much. And I didn't know about your father. You're exaggerating. I'm not, and until you can admit it, I can't do this anymore. This isn't the relationship I want. One-sided, where I carry all the weight. What are you saying? Her voice rose. I'm saying, unless you change your mind and take ownership, please don't contact me. Stop sending stuff in the mail. If it's urgent, forward it or return it. No more holidays. I'm not coming. You can write me out of the will. If there's an emergency, that's the only time to call me or my boyfriend. Otherwise, don't reach out until you've had a change of heart. The line exploded. It was like time travel, back to childhood, her rage unchecked. You can't do this, she screamed, voice cracking. You're my daughter. I am, but I deserve better. She cry-screamed, like a child denied a toy. Admitting that would be turning against Christ. I'd be lying, and I'm not a big old liar like you. Like me? The accusation stung, but I held steady. Your life is terrible anyway, she spat. Wasting your God-given talents. You need to get your medication in check. Clearly, you're not right in the head. I'm not on medication, Mom. Just asthma stuff. And my life? It's good. Really good. Liar! You're making this up for the internet, aren't you? Spreading stories for attention. You were never a good child. Never loving. She ranted for over an hour. Accusations flying. Ungrateful, dramatic, broken. Manipulation layered thick. After all I've done for you? Guilt trips. You'll regret this when I'm gone. In the past, this would have destroyed me. I'd apologize, back down, beg for peace. But not now. Her words bounced off like rain on a window. I saw them for what they were. Desperation. Control slipping away. I let her rage, then quietly said, I'm sorry you feel that way, but this is my boundary. Goodbye. I hung up, heart pounding, but whole. The decision settled like a weight lifting. No contact. Forever, unless she changes, and I know she won't. It hurts. Grief for the mother I never had. Mourning the what-ifs. What if she'd protected me? Loved me without conditions? But mixed with that is relief. Vast open relief. No more walking on eggshells. No more pretending. The revenge isn't loud. It's not screams or exposures. It's quiet, profound denial of access. She won't be at holidays. Nitpicking my outfit or portion sizes. No birthdays where she feigns pride while undermining. My wedding? If it happens, she'll miss it. No advice on looking better. No cruel remarks about my body. Stretch marks she once called ugly. Weight she always criticized. No dictating the dress, the vows, the day. My business growing? She won't see it. Won't claim credit. Bragging to friends about my successful daughter. As if she built me up. Not tore me down. Milestones, joys, everyday peace, she's locked out. And closure? She doesn't get it. No final words, no absolution. She lives with the echo of her choices. She always said how badly she wanted a daughter. 2 boys weren't enough. She dreamed of pink bows, mother-daughter bonds. She got me and squandered it, refused to protect. Chose violence over nurture. So the deepest cut? Removing that daughter forever. Letting her sit with the emptiness she created. It's not cruelty. It's survival. Boundaries aren't revenge. They're self-love. Now I breathe easier. Therapy continues piecing me together. My partner holds me through tough nights. Pets curl up, reminders of simple joy. Business thrives, one step at a time. I'm not healed, scars linger. But I'm free. And freedom? That's the best revenge of all.